Alright, let's talk about something real quick. So, let's talk about cars that I am potentially going to buy in the future, or in the near future. So there are a couple of cars that I am highly considering looking into, and for various different reasons. Because cheap performance being a main factor. But also, the thing is, I want a track car. I want a car I can drive every day. And, the BMW is a great weekend car. I cannot take that car to the track. That car doesn't have a roll cage, and I feel like I ruined the collectability of the car by going and abusing it. There are a couple cars that I would love to daily drive, go beat up on the track on the weekends, and just have a great time with. So here are my list of cars that I am considering buying in the near future, or would love to buy in the near future. So, that being said, it depends on what kind of money I'm looking to spend, honestly. If I'm looking to spend about $30,000, which is a very steep price. Now, if I was looking to spend that much, and if I did end up with that much money, which is kind of unlikely, but you never know what will happen, I would go out and buy a Mustang GT, a 5.0, a 2016 or newer, or a 2015 or newer Mustang GT 5.0, preferably with a premium package on it, because for $30,000 you might be able to pick up a premium if you do look hard enough. There are a couple, things that I would like that Mustang to have. First thing being, I would like it to be ruby red, triple layer yellow, or Kona blue, or even just the white. Now I don't want the black, I don't want the other velocity blue or the green or the orange or any of the other colors. The yellow is like my least choice. I would either want the white or the red, and then the second choice would be blue, Kona blue though. Dark blue, deep blue, beautiful color. Manual transmission. Coming down a little bit would be a C5 or C6 Corvette. Now you can find a super clean example of a C5 for around $15,000 to $20,000. For $20,000 you can also find a fairly decent example of a Corvette C6. Now that being said, either way I have to get a manual, and honestly I wouldn't really care what color it would come in. Black for the C5 is probably the best color in my opinion, because it hides a lot of the body lines, but it also has very sharp angles with black, and I think it looks really sleek in black. The car really works well with it. The red would also be a good color, but honestly black is probably the only one I truly would be like, yeah, that's cool. Yellow could work, but black would definitely be the move. There's a lot of black cars out there, so I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. Still have to go with the manual option, because back then manuals were faster than the autos, and they're just more fun. C6, the blue, the white, the black, then they made an orange also. Any of those colors would be great. Manual transmission, but obviously that would have to be a little bit of looking for, and I'd probably have to travel for it. Another car in that price range would be a Toyota Supra, Mark IV Supra, non-turbo, maybe an automatic or a manual. If I went with the auto, I'd obviously try to get the cheapest possible deal I could possibly find, and then go take a manual transmission and swap it into the car. It not being the 2JZ twin turbo car that you can tune to tons of horsepower, I'd have to go out and do tuning things to that car, so I end up probably $25,000 if I bought the car for maybe around at least $5,000 in the motor, if not more, for a clean one, and then obviously a manual swap, which would probably run me $2,000 to $3,000. So moving on to the next one, these are kind of my personal favorites, just because they fit into the price point really well. So it would be probably not an HR, but the HE 350Z. That being said, it is not the higher rev. The higher revs, it's a great car, great performance, but I just prefer the HE to the HR. I heard the HRs have certain leaking issues and they burn a lot of oil compared to the other ones. Like, they all burn oil, but I just heard the HRs burn more, obviously because of the higher rev. But that is okay. I love a 350Z. I think they look awesome. They have tons of potential as long as it's not molested and it is a manual transmission. I love to have the car in blue. The orange is always an option, but obviously that ruby, the burgundy, brown, that's probably one of my favorites, and then black. You know, you can always put a wrap on those cars and you make them work, so I'm not too concerned about the color on that car. I'm concerned about the color if I was spending $30,000 on a Mustang, or for this next car, which would be a Focus ST. Focus ST would have to be white or yellow. Yellow, just because, I don't know, that car just looks really good in yellow. I think it just sets it apart from everything. If you have a white Focus ST or a black Focus ST or a blue one, it kind of just, you know, oh, it's a Focus. But if it's yellow, you're like, you know it's a Focus ST, just because it's like different, it's outstanding, it's bold, and it just looks really well in that color. Now the next one would be a MK3 Toyota Supra. Now this would probably be a car that has a lot of miles on it and has a super clean body. And what I would do is I would take the motor out and put a 1JZ in it. So, you know, the cars have the motor, but it's probably best to go get a new motor for the car, especially for a car you just don't know what's been done to it or anything. And especially if you want to go the cheapest option, go buy a manual one that's been, you know, had a little bit of stuff done to it towards, you know, the goal of making it look cool and not look like the stock Supra anymore, but also a car that maybe has some motor issues that you can tear down the motor, swap the motor, and put a new motor into it. That would be ideal, but obviously you never know. Honorable mention would be a GTST Nissan. You know, R33, R32. They are both, you know, great looking cars. But yeah, those would be cars I'd consider buying. The review's probably not happening tomorrow. I think I said in the video earlier that it was going to happen, but the car's not sold or anything. The car's still there. I'm just going to go on Wednesday because it is raining tomorrow. Either way, I hope to get the video out on Thursday. That was the original plan, and that is my goal, to get that video out by Thursday. Other than that, go follow my Instagram, go follow the TikTok. Let's subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 100. Let's get this garage tour. My goal is Friday. If I can get that garage tour out, or even maybe a double upload on Sunday for the garage tour. 100 subscribers, full garage tour. Remember that. Subscribe. See you guys tomorrow.